Kennewick police say officers arrested the driver of this car. It happened just before 2 this morning. The car crashed into a fence near South Gump Street and East 3rd Avenue. Police say they determined the driver, a 33-year-old Pasco resident, was under the influence. Officers arrested the driver and booked the person into Benton County Jail. And according to the Benton County Jail roster, there were more than a dozen arrests for driving under the influence over the holiday weekend. We've seen several cases of DUI where people are damaging property with their cars. KPD's Rylee Fitzgerald is tracking this story.
Trooper Thorson with the Washington State Patrol says when there are special weekends, for example, Friday the 13th falling right on a 3-day weekend for many, there's bound to be some reckless and maybe even intoxicated driving.
Anytime there's a big national holiday in America where there's either a Friday or people get Monday off, there seems to be a lot more alcohol consumption. That's no secret.
We saw this in the Tri-Cities, more than a dozen arrests for DUI, as well as what feels like an abnormal amount of property damages that came from them.
It was a short time span that we had 3 DUI collisions, and there was property damage that was involved in those collisions.
This one was Tuesday around 2 in the morning in Kennewick. A driver was arrested for driving under the influence after it appears a car crashed into a fence.
So it's very dangerous, and someone's always subject to get seriously injured or killed.
And Saturday night, Kennewick police responded to this, a car that had crashed into a parked camper trailer. The driver was also arrested for suspicion of driving under the influence. According to Commander Walters, many fatality crashes in Washington are the result of driving under the influence.
In 2021, there were 670 fatality collisions. Of those collisions, 312 of those drivers were either under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Even more damage in Richland over the weekend. A section of George Washington Way was closed for hours following this crash, where a truck met a traffic pole and brought it down. The driver was also arrested for suspicion of DUI.
If you're going to go out and drink, have a great time, be responsible. Don't put yourself where you're having a great time and it ends tragically for you or someone else.
Luckily, the damage these drivers did was to non-living things. In Kennewick, Rylee Fitzgerald, KPD Local News.
According to Trooper Thorson, State Patrol arrested 4 drivers for suspicion of driving under the influence. Benton County says they arrested 2 over the weekend, and Richland and Kennewick both arrested several people.